Hello, hello. Hope you guys are having a great day. So today we're going to talk about why is sharing your story important. And so lately, in the background, I have been working on a book collaboration. And this collaboration is titled Finding Strength in Unexpected Pregnancy: Stories from Women Who Have Been There. And I just want to pop on and talk about it, like, what's the significance of sharing your story? Okay. Um, Sharing your story helps other people to understand a situation that they've never encountered. Sometimes it's easy for us to get like perceptions of what it's like and, guess and make judgments. But reading somebody's raw, vulnerable, like truthful story of this is how my experience was for me gives you a little bit more of depth of insight as well. It also, when you share your story, lets people know who have been there before, that they're not alone. And I just want to back up a little bit and say, you have a story. I believe everybody has a story. Everybody has multiple stories to share, to tell. And with each story, each struggle, when you have struggled with something and overcome it, that's a story that you can share. And I would say maybe even need to share because you now have that knowledge to make somebody else's journey a lot easier, right? Because what you struggled with to overcome, those are the stepping stones that someone else is looking for. So we all have stories, okay? And multiple stories that we can share with each other and use for us too, okay? So it lets people know that they are not alone when when you're sharing an experience, because sometimes we keep the hard stuff to ourselves and don't talk about it because sometimes those topics aren't fun. And other times, other reasons we keep the hard stuff to ourselves is because having an image of perfection and trying to seem perfect or trying to seem like we have it all together, or not being vulnerable and not being willing to share our emotions with people. And the third thing that sharing your story helps with is healing and removing shame. So when earlier on in my journey, because this book is talking about unexpected pregnancy, when I got pregnant at 19, I I had a lot of shame around it. And a lot of it came from me, from my my thoughts and my inner judgments and stuff like that. But I mean, there are some from like outside sources as well. But it used to be that like I would not want Ethan to tell anybody that like we got pregnant before we were married, like we were out of sequence. And it was something that I'd hide. And how like people would ask like, oh, what, like when did you guys get married, or like how old is your daughter, and stuff like that. Like I would say like, hey, we got married in 2009 and had Jada in 2010, right? It seems like it, but there's only three. It seems like it'd work, but there's really only 3 months in between when we got married to when we had Jada. But that was like part of my insecurity and trying to show up like I have it all together and that I'm perfect, and also my insecurities of not wanting to be judged any more than I already was. But what sharing your story and the strength that you've gained from your story does is it is healing. It removes the shame. Instead of trying to hide this hard thing that we have, hide our heartache and our shame around it, trying to pretend that it's not existent. When we share openly about, hey, this is what happened in my life, these were the hard times, like got pregnant at 19, I thought I was a failure. I really struggled with my self-worth and looking at other people and seeing like how I did not measure up. So those things, and then sharing what you gained from it, like gaining strength, gaining wisdom, gaining the ability to move on from a struggle, and the inner peace knowing that like I am worthy no matter my situation and all those things. So when you're able to share what you've gained from a hard situation or your story, then it's like a healing salve put on it, because you no longer are carrying that shame and that like hiddenness around. It's out in the open, and but it's been transformed. Okay, it's been transformed from this negative hidden thing to something that's out in the open that is helping others. It gives a purpose to your pain when you share with others, because then this painful thing that you walk through is actually like you've figured it out to help the next person down the line. So those are some of the things that can come from sharing your story and why sharing your story is important. There is a blog link in the comment if you want to check out a blog I wrote about sharing your story too. So if not, totally fine. But I hope you guys have a fabulous Wednesday. We have a few after school activities planned, basketball and other things, so it'll be fun. It'll be a good day. I hope you guys have a good day also. Talk to you later.